Coming up tonight on YCN News, a missing Brattleboro woman is still being sought by authorities. An update on the search. New Hampshire liquor stores claim a record amount of sales this summer. Find out how much. And get out your mountain bike, we've got another trail ride review. For more news, weather, and sports, stay tuned for YCN News, giving you your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, everyone. It is Monday, August 17th. I'm Kurt Weedy, and welcome to this Monday evening edition of YCN News. We begin with sad news this evening after a fatal motorcycle accident in Bradford, New Hampshire, claimed the life of one this morning. Police responded to the intersection of West Road and Old Mountain Road shortly before 7 o'clock this morning. There they found an unidentified male unconscious on the roadway. The man, who police say was the driver of the motorcycle, was later pronounced dead at the scene. Police say the man's identity is being withheld pending notification of family, and that the cause of the accident remains under investigation tonight. Over in Vermont, the search continues for a missing Brattleboro woman last seen near her home on August 13th. Police say 19-year-old Brandy Nimchek was reported missing by her legal guardians on Friday. She is believed to be heading to Kissimmee, Florida, to stay with relatives there. Now, it is not known how Nimchek is traveling, but police say she is not to be believed in immediate danger. Nimchek is a recent graduate of Brattleboro Union High School, where she was an honor roll student. Now, anyone with information as to Nimchek's whereabouts is urged to contact the Brattleboro Police Department. That's at 802-257-7950. Sticking with Vermont news, there are some mixed emotions in Bellow Falls this week as the town is saying goodbye to a signature member of its fire department. The department announced late last week that Fire Chief Bill Weston will be retiring from the position after more than 21 years of service. Residents have flocked to the department's Facebook page to share memories and well wishes, and the town is holding a farewell gathering tomorrow at noon on Rockingham Street. It's to wish Weston the best of luck in his future endeavors. And residents of Lebanon, New Hampshire will have the opportunity to offer their input on a proposed medical marijuana dispensary in their city. This coming after the New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services announced that it would host a series of public forums this week, including one Wednesday night in Lebanon at City Hall. Now, other forums will be held in Merrimack, Plymouth, and Peterborough with the intention of garnering input from municipalities and residents on the potential impact of dispensaries or cultivation sites in their neighborhoods. The New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services is responsible for the distribution of cannabis for therapeutic purposes within the state. Of course, YCN News will bring you more on this story following Wednesday night's public forum. Coming up next on YCN News, New Hampshire liquor stores hold on to a record amount of sales. We've got full details for you after the break.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News, everyone. Thank you for staying with us on this Monday evening. I'm Kurt Weedy. It has been a busy summer for wine and liquor sales in the state of New Hampshire. There is an increase of $21 million to a record total of $642 million. That according to the New Hampshire Liquor Commission. Now, this increase was nearly even between spirits and wine. In a press release, the Commission stated that sales totals added up to around 24 million bottles of spirits and around 29 million bottles of wine. Now, that is a lot of alcohol. Switching gears, New Hampshire Governor Maggie Hassan is calling on federal regulators to fully investigate the impact of the Northeast Direct Pipeline project. In a letter to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, the governor is asking them to listen to the voices of New Hampshire residents. Now, this does include full investigations of alternate routes and a request to require developers to address the questions and concerns of Granite Staters as it relates to the proposed project. Governor Hassan included the question as to whether or not the project is actually needed in New Hampshire at all, and that any regional benefits will not outweigh the impact on the communities along the proposed route. Well, over in Vermont, the I-91 Brattleboro Bridge Improvements Project includes the replacement of 4 bridges with 2 new bridges. Blasting operations on the north side of the new bridge will continue for approximately the next 2 weeks. Now, the target time for those blasts is weekdays between 1:30 to 2 in the afternoon. Now, to ensure travelers' safety, rolling roadblocks will be implemented on the interstate. Full information on closures and completion of the project is available and updated on a daily basis at i91brattleboro-bridge.com. Now, also a new text alert system makes it possible to receive text notifications of traffic issues and closures. Just text 313131 with the keyword I91 Brat or by using the sign up widget on the project. Again, that's at i91brattleboro-bridge.com. And finally, an area nursing home in Hanover, New Hampshire was recently cited by state inspectors for several deficiencies in patient care. Hanover Terrace changed ownership 14 months ago and received the citations, which included failure to provide eating assistance to a patient with dementia who lost 23 pounds as a result of that. That, according to the Valley News newspaper. Now, these citations contributed to Hanover Terrace Health and Rehabilitation Center's ranking for health inspections on the lowest tier of an official list of the 76 New Hampshire nursing homes that care for Medicaid and Medicare patients. Hanover Terrace received a single star after its health inspection. Now, that is the lowest possible rating, marking its performance in that critical area as much below average. It should be noted that only 14 New Hampshire nursing homes received a single star for health inspections. After the break on YCN News, we've got some Kearsarge Chronicle for you on this Monday evening. Host Lynn Solomon speaks to Wally Baker and Yvonne Howard about the second annual Celebrate Sutton Festival. That's coming up after the break, so please stay with us.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Mike Pizzone. Well, it was a pretty hot way to start the work week, and it looks like things will be equally as hazy and humid over the next couple days. Things will cool down to around 66 degrees this evening with clear skies and calming winds, setting up another scorcher tomorrow with temperatures exceeding 90 degrees. There'll be a slight chance for thunderstorms later in the afternoon, before a partly cloudy evening with temperatures bottoming out at about 65 degrees. And Wednesday could make it an official heat wave with a high of 90 degrees during the day and a low of around 66 Wednesday evening. Now let's take a look at our community calendar to see what's happening in the region. The Lake Sunapee region VNA and Hospice will hold a free blood pressure and glucose clinic tomorrow from 9 a.m. to noon at their offices on Newport Road in New London, New Hampshire. Call the number on the screen for more information. A seniors game night will be held tomorrow from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Claremont Senior Center off Maple Avenue in Claremont, New Hampshire. The event is for anyone ages 50 or older, whether they're a member of the Senior Center or not. A variety of games are available and the event is held weather permitting. The Claremont Parks and Recreation Department's all-out trail run will be held Saturday at Moody Park. A kids' 1-mile race will be held at 8:30 in the morning, followed by the full 5.7-mile race at 9. Cost is $15 to register. Visit ClaremontParks.com to find out more. We're still about a week away from any head-to-head high school action, so we thought this would be a perfect time to bring you the next mountain bike trail review. Today, YCN News anchor Kurt Weedy checks out the trails at the Cornish Town Forest.
Welcome to another edition of Trail Ride Review. Today we're trying out the Cornish Town Forest trails in none other than Cornish, New Hampshire. The trails are off of Hilliard Road and the trailhead is not easy to find. There isn't parking space provided, so you'll have to find somewhere nearby. The trails are very extensive and offer a variety of routes on different loops. They all wind up at the same spot with junctions throughout. It is mostly an uphill ride at first, with switchbacks allowing for an easier incline. There is technical terrain all throughout, and some parts had to be walked, especially after rain the day before. Expect to ride over plenty of roots and rocks. Riding uphill means you'll reach the top eventually, and we were certainly rewarded when we did. A clearing offered a stunning view of Mount Ascutney in the late afternoon, with a wooden box placed on a tree by the management committee. The box housed a logbook, which was full of notes from other bikers and hikers. The view alone was worth the long uphill, but the best was yet to come, the downhill. The downhill provides plenty of fast sections and requires balance and dexterity throughout. The trails are far from any center of human activity, so it is very quiet and serene in the Cornish Town Forest. I would recommend these trails for intermediate to advanced riders due to the incline nature of the trails and the copious amounts of technical sections, with rocks and roots. The view is amazing, so hike the trail if that's more your cup of tea. For Trail Ride Review, I'm Kurt Weedy.
And turning to baseball, the New Hampshire Fisher Cats split a pair of games over the weekend, falling to the Erie Seawolves 5-3 on Saturday before winning 8-3 yesterday afternoon. The Cats will travel to face Reading tonight at 7. That does it for your look at local sports. I'm Mike Pizzone.
Thanks, Mike. Well, it is Monday, which means we've got an all-new Capital Connection series for you starting off tonight. Tonight, host John O'Connor speaks with Brad Poznansky of New England College. Part 1 of that segment is coming up right after the break.
The YCN News continues in a moment.